Today, we're going to be checking out the new Matt Pike signature pedal, the Masochist from Does It Doom. So Matt Pike, famously from Sleeping High on Fire, not that I really need to introduce him, and he teamed up with Does It Doom, who I've had on the channel before. I had their Baghdad on last time, and that thing is killer. It was based off of some old gear that Matt Pike was using back in the day with High on Fire to get those tones, and I thought it was killer, and I guess Matt must have too, because apparently Matt was using that live a bunch to get those old High on Fire tones, which I think is killer. And then he was talking to him and wanted to do his own signature pedal, and that's how we got the Masochist. So what is the Masochist exactly? Well, it's actually two pedals in one. It's not just one pedal, and both of the pedals are based off of pedals that Matt has in his own personal collection and really likes, but felt like needed some tweaks to work better for him. So first you have the Eke side of things, my personal favorite side of the pedal. It is based off of his own personal Damn Sonic Titan. Now, that pedal is like a cascading gain stage thing that's like, it's simulating power amp distortion. And he liked it, but he felt like it was too limited with the one tone control, so they added another tone controller, essentially, so you don't just have the one knob, you have bass and treble now, so high and low. So you can control how much low end you're getting and how much top end you're getting. They also added some toggles. They added a depth and a cut toggle. So the depth toggle controls how much essentially bass or low end response you're getting from the input stage, so from either your guitar or other pedals. And then the cut is cutting or leaving the low end intact at the power amp stage of things. So you kind of are able to really shape the low end you want while still getting everything to kind of feel and respond the way you want, getting it nice and saturated so it's not too loose or muddy, or it's not too tight and thin sounding. You can really dial it in with this thing. And wow, this thing, just the Eke side, like I said, is my favorite. Totally gets those high on fire, just absolutely stoner doom tones for days. Just that kind of thick, saturated tone where you hit just a low power chord and you just let it ring and you just feel powerful. And then we get to the Adverto side of things. And the Adverto also still really good. Both sides of this are totally killer and get you that sound, you know what I mean? But the Adverto side of things is a little bit different. It's based off of a harmonic energizer, I think, that was from the 70s. And this kind of thing is kind of like a hybrid between like a mid-range filter and an overdrive. And what I mean by that is it has like the gain from an overdrive, and you are pushing the mid-range kind of in a way that Matt Pike likes, which is a cocked wah style sound. But then you can also precisely dial in what mid-range frequency you want, and then the bandwidth of that frequency, meaning it can be like super flat, so you're boosting it here, but it's kind of boosting up things around it, or you can just surgically bring that bandwidth to be just a very thin kind of notch somewhere, so you can really start to get that nasal cocked wah kind of thing, and anything in between, which makes it very surgically precise if you want it to be, and very customizable. Now you can stack these. You can run the Adverto into the Eke. It's going to be crazy over the top, super blown out, just tons of saturation and compression. So if you want something ridiculous, you can do that, although it's not the way I'm using it. Although I will show that, and that's not the way Matt is typically using it either. And now for a little bit on how these are meant to be used, like this is meant to be running into something like, gain stacking, boosting, getting that saturation. It's not so much going to be used on their own. Like if you try and, plug this into a clean channel and expect high on fire tones, you're going to be disappointed. But if you run this into, say, some dirt, whether from an amplifier or from some pedals, I think you're going to be very, very happy. Now, one other quick thing on this too is you'll notice that it looks awesome. It has some really killer artwork all over it. And that's from Matt's own personal tattoo artist, who's also done a lot of the artwork for High on Fire over the years. So I just thought that was a cool little tidbit. So that's everything about the pedal, its features, even down to the artwork. Let's actually hear this thing outside of a mix. So I had this running into the green channel, the crunch version of the green channel on my PV6505 1992 original, so essentially kind of the reissue block letter, and I had that going into the normal channel, or the normal input rather, because I figured we were already going to be getting enough gain from the pedal, and that was definitely the way to go. I'm plugging into the pedal with my own, it's kind of like, I call it my War Pig or my Doom Stick, but it's a mahogany Warmoth body that I have I have an Illuminati aluminum neck on there, and then I have a Seymour Duncan P-Rail pickup in the bridge position that we're doing all the sound examples with. That pickup rules, by the way. Definitely check it out. And then that's all going to be going into my Two Notes Captor X with my own blend of a DV77 and VM1265 speaker. You can actually download that IR down below in a Dropbox link if you want to check it out. But let's just turn some knobs and hear how this pedal sounds. So this thing is absolutely really cool. I think it's awesome that Does It Doom hit me up to check this one out because they really liked the demo I did on the Baghdad. So I think it's cool they sent this over for me to take a look at. Thank you guys for that. It's really great. As you were able to hear, just the thing is absolutely massive sounding and just turns my PV on that channel from sounding just kind of to just huge and victorious sounding. Just immediately got into those high on fire kind of tones and territories. I absolutely love that thing. I mean, I do like to Doom on occasion, and that thing it blew away all expectations I had for it. So definitely a big fan of it. And who doesn't love to gain stack cool stuff and get ridiculous over the top sounds? I mean, I know I certainly do. So I'd be curious to know your thoughts, what, if you liked it, or if you want to kind of get any of these tones, or if you've tried any of these pedals or anything else from Does It Doom. Leave a comment down below. I mean, I'm definitely interested. I think this thing is killer. I mean, as you were able to hear, it just absolutely took my PV to another level. But I'm going to have a link down below if you want to check out this or anything else from Does It Doom. But thanks for watching. Stay metal.